afternoon, everyone. Yes, it's feeling like we turned the corner on winter, wouldn't you say? I don't see anything cold coming at us, and now what I'm hoping to get is some of these springtime thunderstorms that may actually drop some real rain around here, because we sure could use it. Right about now, we're at 80 degrees. Our winds are sustained at 21 miles an hour. We had a peak gust of 35 this afternoon, so it is a little on the blustery side. If you're working outdoors, you're just going to get buffeted by it, but you know, if you're picking up, large signs or something, you'll get kind of blown around by the wind. The high temperature today officially came in at 84 after a morning low of 69. You know, we're supposed to be in March, and we're supposed to be about 72 this time of year. And look at that. We were 1 degree off tying the record high temperature for this date. And that's been a long time since I was that big, you know. Anyway, we are looking at the Texas map, and you can see how the winds are really streaming up and pumping up the moisture. And this is a very typical March weather pattern. I call it the March winds because land begins to heat up in the inland areas of the country, and then all this Gulf air starts sweeping up into that region. And it's the winds are, kind of the problem unless you're, driving a high-profile vehicle, or if you're outdoors. The other problem is when the little seedlings come up of all the things that have been planted, they're just kind of tender, and so to get a 30-mile-an-hour wind hitting it, well, it just doesn't help anybody. Here's the dry line. Behind it, we have some very dry desert air. On this side of it is where all the humidity is located. We're going to be rather humid and breezy right on through Friday, but then the big news is the weekend change. We're going to talk about that in a second. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be dealing with another round of fog. If you're up early in the morning or jogging or taking the dog out, if you're certainly between Victoria and Port Lavaca, you're really going to see it fairly heavy. Inland areas up toward Yoakum, not so much. And Hallisville, I doubt if it'll get even that far inland. Your temperatures, these are the temperatures around the country to give you an idea. We are going to be obviously in the upper 70s to almost 80 degrees. And then you see, some cool weather still in the northwest and along the northern interior states and even in the northeast. But it really is looking like a springtime warm-up, even though we're just in the beginning of March. Tomorrow and through Friday will be in the mid-80s. And then what happens here? Well, clouds and maybe a shower or two. Am I serious? Yes, I'm serious, because I wouldn't tease you about anything like this unless I really meant it. And I want to show you why I really mean it. Now, here's a storm coming in from the Pacific. It gets deep and it parks itself in the Rockies. So now what we have is a big dip of low pressure instead of that big hill of high pressure that basically blocks everything from coming in our direction. So now we have this, then we have this. So look at Saturday. We've got showers coming through our area right here. That's Saturday. And Sunday we may have some isolated thunder showers around the area. And then we have this cutoff low. This thing has to spin around over us probably middle of next week. So that's a good 5 to maybe 7 days of potential showers. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but it's very potential, okay? Looking at 79 tomorrow in Port Lavaca after the morning cloud deck, 83 in Cuero. And like I said, it will stay on the windy side right on through Friday. Little bit of a sprinkle possible in the morning hours. Best shot, however, is on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And hopefully we can keep this going. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Now, you scan that with your phone, and Crossroads Today shows up magically on your cell phone. And that's it from here. We'll toss it over to